Hello and welcome back to the workbench. Now this little free plank wagon by Bachmann is probably one of the most well used wagons that I've ever had, and the reason for that is not only does it transport barrels and things like that about, but it's my Mobius Camera flat wagon, and I'll show you how that works. This video is being done at the request of Sadie, who kindly commented on my milk trains video. I cut a small piece of foam which is wedge shaped, which is a tight fit in the wagon. I found that wedge shape is important because the Mobius needs to point down slightly because it's such a wide angle lens, otherwise you pick up too much stuff all around. So let's get hold of the Mobius and show you what I do. So this is my second Mobius camera. The first one probably wore out. There's lots of instructions online about how to use it and things, but I'll just start it up. You press the power button and you'll see the little LED hopefully go yellow. Three modes of operation. First mode is normal, which means that if you put the camera like this, the image will be the correct way up. If you press it again, it goes blue. That means you can turn the camera around that way and the image will be the correct way up. Now that's important if you want to view things to the right of the train. The next press puts it in photo mode, which we don't want. So it's back to yellow, which is ideal for viewing things to the left of the train when you go around curves. But now you can see that it's slightly tilted down. It's in the ideal place now to do a bit of filming. But it's not filming at the moment. Let's start it and we'll just run it on the test layout. Hopefully there's enough light. It does need a good amount of light. Now to start filming, it's just a press there and it begins flashing. So I'm going to bias it slightly to the left and we'll go in like this, and it will just get a view of that 03 shunter there and the siding, and I'll send it right to the back where it's probably a bit dark and bring it back out. So that's all I do to mount it, and all the times you've seen action shots with the Mobius or train rides with the Mobius, it's sitting on that little bit of foam in that wagon, and it also serves to slightly insulate it from the track noise, which can get quite loud. Now again, online I'll probably put a link up with this video. You have to open the camera when new. It's 4 little screws, and then there's a grub screw on the side of the lens barrel. You get a supplied Allen key. You undo that screw fully, you can then twist the lens either way. Now I marked it. I don't know if the camera's picking this up. Let's come over to the sunlight. There's a little notch there, and that lined up with this casing, and that meant that it was as delivered. So mark it as delivered and then you turn it to get closer focus. I prefer a much closer focus because you really, when you're going along, really you don't want a lot more than where my hand is. It keeps things out of focus that you don't want to see. And I usually do it on my steel ruler. Set the Mobius at one end like so, and then choose my focus range. You get it down to say 14 centimeters, and then you'll find you have a good range either way. So that is how I use the Mobius. Hope that's been of assistance to people, and Sadie, I hope that answers your question. I thought it was important to have a look at the Mobius software provide a link in the description box. This is connected to my Mobius camera, and these are the settings that I would suggest you use. The lens type will depend on your Mobius. Mine is a C. Artificial light frequency in the UK 50 Hz to avoid flicker. Recording indicator, yes, you want that on, and you want to enable USB charging. File system FAT32. That's my preference for day and date, year. Video mode 1 is the yellow flashing light. Power on delay is fast. Power off, well, I have it at 2 minutes. That means if you leave it alone doing nothing, it will turn off in 2 minutes. Power on auto record is off. Miscellaneous settings, just leave these as is. I use 16 to 9 PAL. Of course, if you're over in America, Canada, you may want NTCS. Mode 1, again, this is for the yellow flashing LED. MP4, absolutely essential. Audio recording, yes, you want that. Video timestamp, if you want it, yes, but off for me. Rotation, I'm not going to rotate it. Loop recording is off. And the video data rate is high. Video clip length, maximum. Wide dynamic range, I've turned it off. I don't like the effect of it being on. Field of view is narrow, that works with the lens I've got. Now I am set to 1280 x 720. The reason for that is I use 50 frames per second on my normal camera, and I want this to match up with it. If I was to select 30 frames a second, I could do 1920 by 1080p, but I find it scales up quite enough on that. Mode 2, which is the blue flashing LED, the only difference is that it's rotated by 180 degrees so that we can turn the lens to the other side. The specialist settings, nothing's changed. Photo mode I don't use. So that's that. I hope this has all been very helpful. Cheers then.